I am so proud of you, Harold, and Dominic, for what you do for America and what our brothers and sisters do. Thank you for your service every day. You are tired of pats on the back and helping fathers and mothers get their grandchildren up on our fire apparatus. And that's all well and good. And the very people who enjoy your company screw you when you get to Washington, D.C. as a congressman. And that's where it's at. The epitome of what I'm talking about had nothing to do with firefighters, had to do with the veterans. We have a congressman in the state of New Jersey. I'll get to New Jersey in a minute. We have a congressman in the state of New Jersey. Whatever I'm saying to you now, I told him to his face, who went to a ribbon cutting for a Veterans Administration building that was added on to the hospital in Paramus, New Jersey, and had voted against it. That's chutzpah. And if Firehouse, we say something else, but that's chutzpah. We need to be held to a standard because you are held to a standard and perform all over the greatest country in the world, and you are good at what you do, and we are not so good at what we do. We passed this thing in 1:30 in the morning because people on the other side, and I refer to them just momentarily as the dark side. Is that all right, Harold, to say that?
I don't know. I've got one coming up next.
Oh, then let me say it. The dark side. To vote with us on something. Why did we have to debate it? Either the Fire Act was doing what it was supposed to do, either the SAFER Act was doing what it was supposed to do, or it wasn't. So you could take the red pen and you could go through everything in the budget as they're attempting to do. They cut everything. Indiscriminately almost. Indiscriminately. And yes, we're trying to get rid of the fat in government on all levels because we are living in those kinds of economic times. The states are particularly in precarious situation right now. We know that. But interesting, the governors of Wisconsin and the governors of Ohio, their favorability rating is now lower than their unfavorability, and they just got the job. They've only been there a very short period of time. In both cases, 3 months, correct? They're doing wonderful. Maybe they'll last a year, I don't know. And because they changed the law in the Wisconsin legislature on negotiations on public workers, don't think that the fight is over. Just because the governor signed it, don't think the fight is over. Don't show them that we don't have the fight in us to turn things around. And it may not be tomorrow, but it might be the next day. So they blame the public workers. And I say this to private sector unions too, so they know where I'm coming from. I have nothing to hide. I got a 100% voting record. And I don't like it if private unions don't show up to help us, and vice versa. We're going to have a collective bargaining, unification, or we're not going to be anything. Because when they come after public workers, they come after private workers next. And then there'll be nobody left. So maybe this was a wake-up call for all of us. Public workers went into pensions, faithfully paid into their pensions, and faithfully states didn't. Somebody was left holding the bag. And it ain't going to be us. We cannot let that happen. You want to change the rules of the game, you sit down with the people who are playing the game. If you want to change contracts, if you want to change pensions, you sit down and talk with those people before you shoot off your foul mouth as to what you're going to do and how you're going to bring no taxes, no taxes, no taxes. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it that way. So this is a crisis. But I remember, Harold, less than 10 years ago, or just less than 10 years ago, when brave firefighters and brave police officers went into those towers, the federal government wasn't there. The local responders were there. And for this government, and for anybody in it, and for any legislator, or anyone connected to a legislature, to not consider police and fire to be part of the national security of this country, they need to go back to 101. Because if we're not part, and this is how they started to cut it. Remember they said in cutting the budget, they would do all non-security. The firefighters and the police are non-security? What are you, a total idiot? You cannot do this. They're the first ones to respond. Do you get it? They're the last ones to leave. What don't you understand what I just said? You've had too much oatmeal and you're eating it in the wrong hole. Clean out your ears. You went in, as you do every fire, as to any chemical mishap before any federal official, and certainly any congressman went in. So I have a duty, very simple to me. I think I understand my duty because I was a mayor. I was a mayor of Paterson, 1T, New Jersey. I understand the responsibilities of what a chief executive does. I understand that governors are in hard times today, and mayors are in hard times, and the Congress and the president are in hard times. But you establish priorities. When everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. And if you don't have the firefighters, police officers, EMTs, the public workers who sweat like everybody else, if you don't have them in mind as a priority, there's something wrong. I promise you, and I keep my commitments. This is my 15th year here. I promise you every ounce of my energy. And if I do less, then someone else should be in my spot. I am proud of all that you stand for. God bless you, and God bless your families. Thank you.